Let's talk restaurants with Kat Neville from Feast Magazine, sponsored by Jimmy's on the Park, 706 DeMunn in Clayton, 725-85. Their website is jimmyscafe.com. Don't forget to make reservations. Easter brunch right around the corner starts at 10. Live jazz from Jim Manley and Mark Fredericks at the Beefstro Bar. Everything is cooked to order. What a great Easter brunch location. Jimmy's on the Park, 706 DeMunn in Clayton. Good morning, Kat Neville.
Howdy.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Let's get right to a couple of restaurants for us. What do you got this week?
Well, today, the places that I'm going to talk about do serve food, but they are focused on great drinks.
Aha.
So the
That's
first
okay.
one, the first one is called The Dark Room, and it just opened up in Grand Center at 615 North Grand. And just to give you a sense of where it is actually north of that Washington Avenue intersection.
Okay.
So it's kind of like right next door to Dooley's, if that makes sense.
Sure, right, yeah.
Okay. So, excuse me, the Dark Room is it is a nonprofit that has been launched in conjunction with the International Photography Hall of Fame, Grand Center, as well as the Kranzberg Arts Foundation. And what they do is they are serving as a rotating art gallery that is going to be focused on photography specifically. And the very first exhibition is up right now. It's called New on the Scene. And it features the work of 8 recent graduates of Webster University. And I had a chance to go in, and the work is really terrific. But again, it's going to rotate out all the time. And there is a really terrific bar area as well as a kind of communal dining area.
Right.
And then Bill Neep from Pinnacle Imports is curating the wine selection, which is going to be also changing out, I believe, every single month. And so the wines have really terrific explanations that kind of tell you exactly what the wines are going to be tasting like. It's a really kind of fun space in which to try things that you would never find on any other kind of wine list around town. And then they also have a lot of great nibbles. So they have flatbreads with like smoked salmon, local goat cheese, and caviar. They have, like small pizzas. They have lots of different dips like house-made hummus and like red pepper dip and this kind of stuff. And so what is most interesting to me, though, is the fact that it is a nonprofit. And so it's meant to really be this place that intersects all the energy of the art scene that's happening in Grand Center, activate the sidewalk area,
Right.
and then also just serve as a place for people who live in that area and people that have are going to the Fox, or people that are performing at Powell Hall, things like that. It's a place for them to go and have a great glass of wine. So it's a really cool spot.
Is it going to be open after the performances, do we know?
Yes.
Which is great, because once you leave there, everything's kind of closed down.
I know.
There's nowhere to stick around.
I know. And so I was talking to the folks there about that, and they said, no, we're here really to serve the neighborhood, and like I said, to kind of activate the area, and beyond just being someplace to go before a show.
Right.
And it's not very big. It's really quite small. And what's terrific too is that they have a lot of photography memorabilia, gadgets. I'm not really sure what the right word would be, but for example, they have darkroom enlargers. They have manuals for like all the chemicals that you're supposed to be using and all that kind of stuff around the space.
For the younger people in the audience, a darkroom is a place where you used to go to actually print
Yes.
and actually develop a picture.
Exactly.
And back in the olden days, like Kat Neville remembers, you would actually have to drop off your roll of film.
That's right.
And get it developed, and
That's
they would
right.
develop it in a darkroom.
Imagine that.
My dad actually was an amateur photographer, and my baby book, he took and developed all of the photography himself. And so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very cool to see that they're showcasing a lot of local artists, and again, I really love that they're putting such an emphasis on a creative wine list.
And
because,
can you buy some of the photography too?
Yes, you definitely can. Absolutely.
Love it, because after the Fox is always a great place to go to sit and sort of enjoy what you just on, talk about it, and meet up and whatever else. All right, good. So that's the dark room next to Dooley's on Grand.
615 North Grand.
Just north of Washington Avenue there.
Correct.
All right, good. What's number 2?
Number 2 is Urban Chestnut's new brewery and beer hall.
I love this story.
Yes. So it's at 4465 Manchester, and it's in the Grove, and it is humongous.
Is
Have
it
you
open
been?
yet? Is it
it's
open yet?
open.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
it's definitely open, and it's already just packed. So they are brewing beer there. They took over it was a paper company.
Renaud paper. Renaud
Exactly,
paper, yeah.
exactly. And so it was this totally green build out. And when you when you walk into kind of this retail area. There's a place you can park your bike if you want to. And then you walk up the stairs and into this massive beer hall. They have a full kitchen. And so off to the left is where you can read the menu, and you can walk up to a counter to place your order. They'll give you a buzzer, and then you go find a place to sit. And they have a lot of kind of like picnic table, communal spots. They have a huge patio area that overlooks Manchester, and it is covered. So if it's raining, you can actually still use the space.
It's inside the building, so the patio is inside. I love that look.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
And then and there's this very, very long bar that spans the entire length of that kind of beer hall area. So there's lots of room at the bar itself. And so you sit and you grab your spot, and then when your buzzer goes off, you walk up and you pick up your own food on these really cute kind of like half sheet trays and go sit down, grab your beer or whatever. The food is a perfect pair with beer, and Urban Chestnut's beer is amazing. They have a ton of different stuff on tap, but really kind of the story here, because everybody's had their beer before, and so to me like a part of the big story is the food, and it's very German. They have raclette, which is this they take boiler onions and cornichon, which are the tiny little pickles. They take cauliflower, all this kind of stuff, and they blanket it in raclette cheese, which is this kind of funky, really great cheese, and it melts all in there, and so it's wonderful. Has this really it's hard to describe it, but it has a really, if you like funky cheese, it has a really nice funk to it.
I like funky cheese.
I do too. And like the funky chicken.
The funkier the better.
Exactly. And then they also have poutine on the menu. So, and lots of different frites, of course, but then they have poutine, which for those who are uninitiated, it is fries covered with gravy and all kinds of great stuff. And when I was there, it was this white cheddar cheese sauce with smoked pulled pork and caramelized onions. It was delicious, and could not possibly eat everything, of course. There's like a grilled escarole salad. They have fried brandade, which is a salt cod, which is, again, a very traditional European thing. They have oysters. They have all kinds of great stuff.
What did you think of the long tables and the long benches at Urban Chestnut?
It is a traditional German beer hall style dining atmosphere, and I loved it because it's different, and that's what I liked about it.
Do you know where that wood came from?
No, but I bet you do.
I do. It came from the felled trees and the fallen trees from Florissant during the tornado.
Oh, you're kidding.
They repurposed and saved all that wood, and it was built by, the guy's name is Martin Goebel?
Oh, I know him.
Martin Goebel
Yeah.
built it all.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. I actually have one of his tables in my basement, and he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
And
He was
that's
on the
very
show a
cool.
couple weeks ago talking
Oh, I
about
bet you
it.
guys nerded out on woodworking.
We did.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, no,
yes.
it's a definite compliment. It's a definite compliment.
But the furniture is fantastic.
It really is.
But the furniture, when you go to Urban Chestnut Brewery, you're sitting on trees from a downed tornado in Florissant.
It's exciting to see when people thoughtfully build out spaces. They don't just say, well, what's the cheapest thing that we can possibly do?
Right.
It's like, well, how can we do something that has personality, that is sustainable, that has a local tie, and so when you go in, it's not just the beer that has meaning or the food that has meaning, but the space has meaning, and it connects with the audience beyond just being, a place to kind of like sit and eat or drink. And I love that.
It's also going to transform that Tower Grove area, that mangrove.
It almost already has.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be truly a landmark, and in the Midwest, I don't know if there is another place that is. I don't know. I'm really
pretty
excited
special.
for Florian and for David and for all the people that are part of Urban Chestnut. They make just amazing beer, and the fact that now they have these 2 spaces,
Yeah.
it's great for St. Louis.
It's a pretty special place. All
It
right.
is.
Speaking of special things, Feast STL. Any
Yes.
news you have for us?
Well, the April issue is coming out at the end of the week, and I'm excited about this one. We are focused on everything spring because my goodness, it is time for winter to be over. Thank you
Yes.
very much. So we're doing morels and white asparagus, and we actually are also going out to Effingham, Illinois, to visit the John Booz factory.
John
So-
Booz?
Yes.
Booze?
BOOS, and it's since 1897 they've been making. It's woodworking, and they've been making. You would nerd out entirely
Like
on
his
going
ears just
through.
went,
I know. So they make some of the world's best cutting boards, and they're
Ooh.
used all over the country by some of the best chefs in the business, and they're made right there in Effingham, Illinois. So I'll tell you some more about that next week, but it's a very, very exciting story, and so we had a chance to go out there. It's pretty
That's
cool.
a great story.
FeastSTL.com.
Yes.
Feast newsstands. You can
Yes.
get it delivered to your house on Sunday if you subscribe, and you subscribe to the Post Dispatch, STLtoday.com. For a deal, go to STLtoday.com/McGraw and get the McGraw deal on your Feast subscription and newspaper subscription. How's that for a deal? Be good. We're waiting for more news, but hopefully we'll hear some next week.
Yes.
Kat Neville, Feast Magazine. We'll come back, talk a little hockey with Andy Strickland on the Big 550 KTRF, sponsored by Bertarelli Cutlery, keeping St. Louis sharp since 1967. That's 47 years. Bertarelli is your one-stop shop for knife and tool sharpening, along with all of your kitchen supplies. Visit them at 1927 Marconi on the Hill or at bertarellicutlery.com.